Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Hey, whether you're already working in property management or you're thinking about starting your career in property management, I want to give you some tips today. I want to give you 6 tips that are really going to help your career in property management. These are the kinds of tips that I wish somebody told me 20 years ago, because a lot of this stuff I had to learn it the hard way, and I want to share it with you. Because I think what you're going to find is the tips on this video, the things that I'm going to talk to you about today, well, not only are they really going to help your career, especially your career in property management, but nothing that I'm going to talk to you about today is rocket science. It's not hard. You don't have to be a genius to do this. This is very, very simple stuff. Where the hard work comes in is having the discipline to put it into practice. But everything that I'm about to share with you is very, very easy to do. Really quickly, before we jump into my advice to help your career in property management, I just want to level set on property management in general. If you're kind of on the fence of like, hey, is this the right industry for me? Well, I'm going to tell you, you really can't pick a better industry. Why? There's no such thing as a dead-end job in property management. I meet more and more executives. I'm talking about people that make high 6 figures, even 7-figure incomes, that started out as leasing agents, that started out as property maintenance. This industry does not discriminate when it comes to opportunity. There's enough to go around for everybody. So you picked a great industry. It's also not going away, all right? People are always going to need a place to live. So unless some asteroid comes and blows the earth up, which, by the way, having a career at that point is going to be the least of your worries, right? Because the earth is getting blown up, you're going to have a job. And at least for right now in the foreseeable future, and I'm talking trending 5, 10 years out, more people are choosing to rent where they live than own a home. So this bodes really well for you in your career in property management. So with that said, I hope you feel good about this industry. If you don't feel good about it or you have any questions at all on the industry, please leave a comment below. I'm here for you 100%. So let's talk about these 6 tips. Tip number 1, I want you to think bigger. What do I mean by thinking bigger? I don't mean you're smarter and, hey, I'm going to make $1 billion, but I just want you to think bigger. Think beyond your current role right now. Think beyond what's going on today. And a lot of times, in order to think bigger, in order to expand your mind of the possibilities that are available for you in property management, it's going to require you to maybe step outside your comfort zone. And I would suggest get a mentor. Get somebody that you can look up to. Get somebody that has done it before. A lot of times when I'm talking to leasing agents and leasing consultants, and they're the kinds of leasing agents that are going through some stuff right now. Maybe they're down in the dumps. And I ask them, hey, who's your mentors? Who are you working with in the company? Who are you connected with outside of the company? Well, they don't have an answer for that. Typically, they're hanging around with people that are doing the exact same job as them. Their friends are maybe bouncing from job to job. And there's a lot of negativity. There's a lot of negative talk about the property, negative talk about their job. I'm going to tell you right now, you need to get beyond that. You need to think bigger. You need to think bigger than the little petty small things that are going on with your regional, or the argument that you're having with your maintenance team, or the issues that you're having at your community. I want you to think bigger. Like I said before, this is an industry that does not discriminate on opportunity. You can go places. The best way to go somewhere is to have a map. Find a mentor. You will be surprised. When I'm doing my Leasing University live training, every single time, I'll have senior executives come up to me after the training. They're like, great job. I just got to tell you, this was so amazing, and I'm so grateful that you came out, because I really want the best for my people. I really want my people to succeed. I want to be able to promote from within. Your executives have a vested interest in your future. They are not trying to hold you back. So find one of those executives, find a mentor. If you're having trouble finding a mentor within the organization, find one outside of the organization. Heck, one thing you can do right now is subscribe to this channel. I'm not saying I know everything in the world, but I am happy to be your mentor here on YouTube. You are always welcome to leave a comment, leave a question, and I will do my best. I will read every single one of them, and I will do my best to get you the answers that you need, but you need to find a mentor. And in today's society, in today's age with technology, one of the problems that people have is they're basically following too many people, and there's too many different messages going. So I would suggest find an executive, find somebody in your company, hang out at the apartment association, find somebody that you can really relate to one-on-one, that you're like, wow, I get it. I can see myself being this person. And just ask yourself, what would they do? When you're struggling that day and you're maybe having an argument with the maintenance team, or maybe there's a current resident that's just driving you nuts, or maybe you're thinking, hey, should I stay 5 minutes later and make these 3 extra follow-up calls? Think, what would your mentor do? Your mentor that is making the money that you want to make someday. Your mentor that is in the position that you want to be someday. What would they do? And use that as your beacon. Use that as your guide. You need to think bigger. I need you to get out of your head with the little petty small stuff and start getting ready to think bigger. And again, I'm here for you 100%. Follow the channel, hit notifications, leave a comment. I will take care of you. I will do my best to get you the information that you need. All right, tip number 2. I want you to drive to increase your activity. I know it sounds pretty complicated, right? It's not, but you'll be surprised at how many times people will work in the industry for 20 years and they will never really make an attempt to look at their processes, to look at their activities and say, how can I get better? How can I get more efficient? How can I get more done? If you want to get promoted in property management, one of the best ways, pretty much guaranteed way to get promoted, just simply figure out how to get more done in less time. And I know we teach you how to do this at leasinguniversity.com, but you don't need Leasing University to have the mindset of, hey, I want to increase my activity, I want to get better. Let me give you an example. Whenever I do a live training event, I always fly out the day before. It would be very easy for me to take the evening flight out the day before and chill out, go to dinner, review everything that I'm going to do because, hey, I've got to present to people for 9 hours the next day. I got to present to a group from anywhere from 10 people to sometimes 200 or 300 people, and I'm running around, I'm yelling all day. So it'd be very easy for me to take the day off before. Instead, what I always do is the day before my live training events, I always take the first flight out that morning. If there's a flight at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm on it because it gives me the entire day to start booking other meetings in that city. I was just in Dallas last week. The day before, I went and had 11 appointments. I went and saw some companies that are looking at doing live training. I went and visited companies that have people on the Leasing University platform. I figure if I'm going to get on an airplane, I want to make the most use of my time. You can be doing the same thing. You can easily be training with Leasing University. You can train right from your phone at night, okay? So you get more done throughout the day. This is going to pay off for you. These small sacrifices in figuring out, okay, how can I be more time efficient? How can I get more done? What would happen if I just showed up 15 minutes early every day and I took that 15 minutes to plan my day out, to write the 5 things that I want to get done, to review everything, to get focused? Now, a lot of you are probably saying, well, hey, you know, life's not all about work. You gotta have, you gotta have fun too. And I agree with that. You gotta have fun too. But there's way too much fun going on. And if you want to take your career to that level, if you want to be making 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, at some point, sooner than later, at some point, you're going to need to learn how to be more efficient and how to get more done. Again, your mentor can help you with this, but I need you to push yourself. I want to read in the comments, what are you going to do this week to try and just get 1% better, to get a little bit more done, to make more follow-up calls, to check in with current residents. When you start showing this type of behavior, people are going to notice. If you want tips, hey, how am I answering the phone? How can I get to those phones? How can I stop from losing a prospect? Well, I'm here to help you. Simply leave a comment below. I will help you. I'll work with you. But I need you to make a commitment to increase your activity and to try and get more done. You can take it in small steps, but let's start right now getting you to get more done. Tip number 3, and this is probably going to come as a shocker to so many of you. And I can tell you, of my years of knowing successful people, out of all the successful people that I know, and I know a lot of successful people, those in property management and outside of property management, 100% of the people that I know, from professional athletes to billionaires to some of the best CEOs in property management, they all have this skill, and that is sales. You have to learn how to sell. And I know selling somehow has become a 4-letter word, and we talk about this at Leasing University all the time. I talk about this ad nauseum in my live training, that hey, we don't want to be salesy, we don't want to be pushy. I'm not saying you need to learn how to be a used car salesman. The art of sales and the discipline of sales is the ability to work with people. The ability to figure out what is important to that person. The ability to figure out, how can I help get them what they want? How can I resolve their issues? How can I handle complaints? How can I handle objections? How can I move things forward? And if you want to be successful in property management and you want to be successful in life, you need to learn these skills. I know we put a label on sales, but there's not a single high-performing person out there that is not capable of taking a large amount of information, large amounts of conflict, large amounts of challenge, and they have a process for dealing with them. You will be surprised at how many people would never say they're in sales that are actually sales people. Top brain surgeon in the world, salesperson. Don't believe me? Go and get brain surgery. That person needs to convince you that they are capable, that they have the skills in order to do this surgery. You suddenly feel a ton of confidence and like you made the right decision. That's because that person knows how to sell their abilities. If you want to be successful, you need to learn how to sell. That's one of the things that I love so much about Leasing University, is not only when people go through leasinguniversity.com, not only do they become better at leasing apartments, they become better at life. They become better at getting their way. They become better at communicating. Most importantly, and the thing that makes me the most proud, is they get better at helping other people. There's so many millions of families that are in great homes because of the skills that our leasing consultants have to be able to walk them through this very difficult and very stressful time in their life and make a decision. If you want to be great, if you want to be great in property management, if you want to be great in life, you have to learn how to sell. Period. The end. You cannot be successful without knowing how to get your way, knowing how to get things done, and knowing how to help people. Tip number 4, learn the life that's ahead of you. This is a story that I'm very proud of. So my older brother was a very decorated Marine, okay? Now, my older brother was also a very small kid when he joined the Marines. All of 18 years old, he was probably 125 pounds, all right? And he was put on a howitzer, which is a giant cannon in the Marine Corps. And his job was to load, the worst job you could have, to load the ammo. So he had to take these giant 40-pound shells and stock them and load them and stock them and run one pile of shells to the next pile of shells. He hated it. He hated his job, but he was smart. And he learned, okay, the best way for me to get out of this job is to not complain, to learn how to do it more efficiently, to learn how to do it more effectively, but to learn the life that's ahead of me. What is the job that I want on this cannon? Well, it's not loading these shells. I want to be the guy that aims it and the guy that fires it. So at night, he started learning that. He started going through all the instruction manuals for that job. Well, lo and behold, everybody goes out in San Diego one night and so-and-so does not show up for work the next day. The commander comes by and he's like, hey, who's going to fire the gun? Well, there's my brother with his hand raised. I know how to do it. One of the most successful things that you can do in property management is to take your extra time. and start learning the other jobs. If you are a leasing agent, start learning the property manager job. If you're a property manager, start learning the regional job. If you're a regional, start learning the area manager job. Learn the VP job. Learn the president job. Learn the CEO. Whatever it is, learn as much as you can about the life that you want ahead of you. So many times we think, hey, I'm gonna be the CEO of a company one day, but we never think, I should probably start learning those skills right now. And I gave you some of those skills, sales being one of them ahead of it, that you can start learning. Learn the life that you want before you need it, and you will be amazed at how quickly the opportunities come to you. Tip number 5. I want you to play the longer game. Here's what I mean by that. So many of us are thinking, what am I going to do this weekend? What are we going to do this weekend, everybody? And we don't think that much more ahead the weekend or maybe the end of the month. I want you to start thinking in increments of this year, next year, 5 years, 10 years. When was the last time that you sat down and took a few minutes and started to map out your 1 year, your 5 year, your 10 year, and your 20-year plan? The reason why so many people go through 20 years of their career without any real advancement is they never really sit down and plan what advances they want to take in their career and when. I know the weekend is important to you. I know it means a lot, but we're spending way too much time in the here and the now and not enough time thinking, how can I get better? What direction am I heading? What is my course? What is my mentor? Where was my mentor at this point? How can I get better? I want you to think about a longer view. And if you're thinking about that, I would love it if you would comment some of your goals. I would love to read your goals. You'll be amazed at how quickly 5 years will go by, and you'll come back to this video and be like, wow, not only did I get that job ahead of schedule, but I am 3 stages above where I thought I would be in 5 years simply because I took the time to plan. I want you to have that longer view. All right, so last tip, tip number 6. You've got to have a purpose. And this is one thing that I love about property management. So many of us in property management, we care about people. We love the people side of our job. But I'm going to tell you, like I said at the beginning of this video, this industry does not discriminate with opportunities. There's going to be tremendous opportunity. Have I mentioned anything so far that is rocket science? No. Have I mentioned anything that no matter where you're at in your education level that you can't start doing right now today? No. But I will tell you this, if you put these first 5 things into practice, your career is going to start going through the roof, okay? You're going to accelerate your career. There is going to come a time when the money, maybe the money's your goal right now. Maybe you want to make 6 figures. Maybe you want to make 500 grand. I don't know what it is. But there is going to come a time when you do the right things where the money is not going to be as important. You're going to have more money than you need. At that point, you need to make sure that you're working a career that has purpose. And that's what I love about property management. I want you to sit down and I want you to focus on a lot of the rewards of working in the property management space that are not financial rewards. The fact that you get to work with so many different types of people. The fact that you get to help people with probably the single most stressful life event that they have. Where am I going to live? Putting a roof over my family's head. How do I improve my situation? You are literally improving people's lives every day. I want you to find that purpose. I want you to bring it in and I want you to hold that tight and don't lose that purpose. Because I'll tell you this, when you start making more money, which you will, and you have a stressful day, because I have stressful days all the time. Some days I'm up 4 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight. I've got 11 meetings, 12 meetings, 15 meetings in a city. Then I've got to train 250 people the next day. It's those days I'm not thinking about the money. What gets me through those days is the fact that I'm going to help 250 people get better at their job. I'm going to help them accomplish their goals. And how many tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of families are those 250 people going to help because of the skills that I'm going to teach them. I want you to think about your career. I want you to think about yourself. And I want you to find your why. Find your purpose. Find why you love doing this. It's going to drive you. Even in those most difficult days, it's your purpose that is going to push you forward, push you ahead. My name's Matt Easton. I'm the founder of Leasing University. If you would like to know more about Leasing University, please call our offices. We're the #1 sales training for property managers and leasing agents in the world. You can reach our office anytime at 888-735-7451. I hope you've subscribed to this channel. I hope these tips help you. I appreciate you hanging on and watching the video. I know you're going to do great things with your life. I know you're going to do great things with your career. I hope you subscribe and hit the notifications, and please, I meant what I said. Leave a comment. I read every single one of them. I am here to help you, and I will help you in any way I can. Until the next video, I want you to be great. I want you to take your career to that next level, and I want you to get those leases. I'll talk to you soon. The way people rent apartments has changed. Today's renter has access to more information. Today's renter has more choices. The apartment industry needs you. Studies have shown that moving is the most stressful life event. The old sales training, well, it just doesn't work today. I'd like to teach you how to take the stress out of leasing apartments in a way that's meaningful to you and your renters and get you 7 times more leases. I'll show you how the perfect leasing process works. I'm gonna walk you through everything from answering the phone to closing the lease. I'm going to show you how to determine your prospects' wants and their needs so that you can build value in your apartments. You will learn how to handle any objection or complaint. I'm going to show you how to connect with your renter so it's easy for them to rent with you. I've taught the best property management companies and thousands of people just like you how to lease apartments. Property management is complicated. I'll simplify it for you. There's more competition than ever before. I'm going to show you how to be #1. All of a sudden, your career, it's going to make perfect sense, even if you've never worked in sales or property management before. And for the advanced property manager, I'm going to show you how to take things to the next level. Leasing University is a new, simple, step-by-step process that's effective. We're going to help you become a rock star in property management. I'm Matt Easton, and this is Leasing University.